Hey, what up, though, good people? I'm Jay Raphael from the Talk 100 Network, here with TEL-SCRILLA and D. Morrow, and you're listening to the Talk 100 podcast. Let's go.
You are listening to Talk 100 with TEL-SCRILLA, D. Morrow, and Jay Raphael. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard
Friday night, March the 12th, 2021. We made it again, fellas. Hey, if you're falling through for the first time, hit that like, subscribe button, share with your friends, the notification bell, all that good stuff. What we do, like every week, we chop it up about current events, trending topics. Always make sure we keep it a buck. Check us out online at talk100.com, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Twitch at Talk, the number one, HUNNID. Thanks for being here on a Friday night and giving us your support. If you want to link up with us and be a part of the conversation, you can catch the live show on our website by clicking the live link in the navigation bar. This week we got Biden signed a bill for the stimulus package, so some money coming by the end of the month. Whole lot of stuff to get to. Atlanta is going crazy right now since the All-Star game. We got the Royals back in the news, and I'm feeling like it's a battle of the sexes going on, more so than any other time. But we're going to be chopping it up about this and a whole lot of stuff in this next hour. So stay tuned with us. Fellas, what's happening?
What's going on?
Oh, man, I can't call it. How was y'all week?
Hanging in.
Hanging in there. All right. Got you down there in that Houston, man. How's it going down there, bro?
Oh, well, it's going. I tell you what, the 10th, March the 10th was the day that the government decided to no longer have a statewide mask mandate. So, but face coverings are still required in some businesses. So those the businesses still have the option to mandate the mask, which most of them do. I mean, I was just grabbing some Starbucks this morning, and they require a mask, which I'm still wearing anyway. But so individual hospitals. But what it says Texas statewide mask mandate ended on March 10th. Businesses are allowed to operate at full capacity as long as the hospitals in their region haven't been treating a large share of patients for COVID-19. That's one of the things. There's another list of some other things too, but yeah, the mandate's off here.
So what about the
we'll
storm? The storm Uri and all of the outages and everything. Is people recovering? How's that going down there?
Well, I tell you what, on a side of renovations, and everything that's involved now from a lot of the damages from the private homes, there has been some plumbers that's come in town, and unfortunately, some scams have already started. So, on that side of things, that's something for Texas residents to watch out for. Obviously, you got to screen because it's opportunity. Same thing like when a hurricane comes. So you have everything because there's a lot of damage that was done. But nevertheless, that's what's happening now. So FEMA's helping out with refunding for all of the residents if they apply and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of where we're at with that. And I guess they're working on the power grid and probably some infrastructure things that they ignored over 10 years ago. So we'll see what happens with that.
So are the treatment plants back up and running and all of that? So they taking care of the water?
Yes, water treatments, everything's cleared. It's been cleared over a week ago to drink safely. So that's okay too. And they've been testing it and everything else. Has a little weird, which water in my house doesn't, but some areas, I guess it has that weird fishy smell, but they said that that's okay. It's not, it's clear to drink and it's safe. That's what they say.
It's okay.
So
it's like eating them French fries at the Coney in that fish grease.
Yes.
Eat it. It all tastes the same. So speaking of COVID though, man, what's the latest? You checked out the CDC this week, Montel?
No, I haven't, man. That has been I know a big topic in the news here this week. I feel like the CDC is going to probably uh, be keeping close record of this Mississippi and Texas numbers. What you think, man?
Yeah, I mean it's what Texas, Atlanta, Florida. I mean Georgia, Florida. It's a bunch of states that's just going crazy still right now. I saw that the vaccines they done passed the 100 million total vaccines, but only according to them, I think it was like 10%, a little over 10% had been fully vaccinated. So they still working it out. I see Demaro, you sent me a story earlier talking about the what was it again? As far as the adult vaccinations?
Well, you have President Biden. He addressed the nation, and he said that they're ahead of schedule, and because of this merger now with Myrtle and Johnson, they've now decided to help out. I mean, to collaborate to try to get more vaccinations available. But so what he's promising now is that every by May 1st, all adults will be available have been available for vaccination. Now, obviously, no, there's no mandate for you to get it, but meaning that you would have been called, as in you're cleared to go to whatever area, whatever location to get the vaccination that's available. As of now, 50 and up is available now. And my mom was telling me earlier. Oh, I guess that's my number. So 50 and up is already going right now. That's what's going on now. But May 1st, everyone should have been available to go by their choice to be able to get vaccinated by May 1st.
So what about traveling, man? Y'all thinking? I mean, I've been seeing they said that it's gonna be mandatory before you travel. What y'all thinking about that? I mean, Demar, I know you pretty much say you're gonna go ahead and get the vaccine, but I'm still on the same page. Like, I don't think I want to do it. So, but when it comes to traveling, it's like, oh, well, I do want to travel, so I might have to reconsider. What you think, Montel?
I'm looking at the graph now. We've been in a downward trend the last 30 days. CDC is reporting over 100 million people vaccinated, 29 million cases, 529,000 deaths, and 101 million total vaccines administered. This is probably the biggest trial run of a vaccine that I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, but are you going to travel though? I heard about you want to go. I'll just say hop
I'm
on
traveling,
the
bro. But
by
the way
plane?
I'm traveling, nah. I will eventually. But if I wear my mask on the plane, the way they've been wearing their masks now, shouldn't be an issue. If they make it mandatory for me to get on their plane with my mask, then that's a difference.
I'm talking vaccination though. If they tell you that you can't get on the plane unless you've been vaccinated, are you going to take the vaccine?
Probably. No. But I don't see how they can legally say, "Oh, you can't get on this plane because of a vaccination."
Is it
I'm
your
not
right
participating in any trial. Period.
Is it your right to fly, to be able to get on to board a plane?
I'm sure it'll be an airline that would allow me to get on their plane. Because here's the catch-22. If they say that it is mandatory for you to get on this plane, if they say, okay, you can't get on this plane due to the fact that you have not been vaccinated, then if someone caught COVID-19 during this over a year period, and they can trace it back to the airline, would they then be liable or able to sue their airline and say that they, put their health in risk or whatever the case may be. I don't see how they can turn around and say, okay, you have to take a vaccine because of this. Because if that's the case, then they would have to admit that they have been the prime culprit in spreading COVID.
That's a good point. But how would they be able to trace it to that plane or whatever? There's no way they could. You don't know where you picked it up from.
Again, and then that's the whole point. They can't prove to me that if I have this vaccination that I'm not spreading COVID or that I have COVID. I'll take a test and say, hey, I'm not carrying it, or I haven't been
around
exposed to it or whatever the case may be. I can do that. But I mean, that's going to have to be something they hash out in the courts, bro. And the fact that these insurance companies are covering, people, for the COVID situation lets me know that it is somewhat manageable per se. You know what I'm saying? Because they would not put their business at risk if that was the case. I heard of them like doing a study and it was brought up to me that basically when they did their research that, remember, because when it first happened, a lot of them insurance companies shut their doors and just didn't know how to handle it. But then there were some that came out and, basically was saying that, that they did not see that much of a risk to, insure someone that, that would, possibly be exposed to the virus, so-called. So,
well, I saw the report that I saw a few days ago was saying something like what you just said, as far as just testing, getting a test, bringing some type of paperwork. I saw like they got some kind of app that they're using in Israel right now, where it's like a UPC or a the little scan code, where your information will be on that. You'll scan it and it'll prove that you just took the test, and you're free. I mean, you COVID free as of right now within like 48 hours. So that sounds more.
That sounds good. And I've heard that they're giving people who get the vaccination cards too.
Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy, man. It's a lot. It's just crazy. Now, what about the drive-through where they was giving, you said they was giving like saline shots instead of the COVID shot? I didn't get a chance to read the article, but I mean, that's crazy, man. You pull up to the drive-thru, try to get a vaccination, and they give you something different.
Oops.
So what was it? This was a fake location? Well, that was a fake location?
No, this was at a Kroger. Where they administered by mistake that the saline instead of the COVID vaccine.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So was it a mislabel?
Somebody got in trouble for that. Goodness gracious.
Definitely. I'm suing, man. Something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I remember we had talked about that. I was like, dude, you can't tell me, like, you know what I'm saying? And those people, just put their arms out there or whatever. It just got the shot and it wasn't even the vaccine.
Yeah, that's it's trippy, man. And that's what we were saying before. It's like, who can you trust, man? You really can't trust nobody. And it could be some disgruntled employee. I'm just going to start shooting people up with this.
Well, that shouldn't be just an employee, though, should it? That's administering.
Everybody's their employees. Everybody, your doctor is an employee.
I know they are, but to push that, that's another thing, real quick. To push that whole thing in May, what they've called back is retired nurses, and that's what we said as far as staffing this thing, because that's the whole thing. When you're going to have these multiple locations, you're going to have staff, because no, it should not be. That's what I'm saying. No, it should not be the 17-year-old who was just back. We don't just go grab anything. This is still, technically, you should be able to have went to go train and be a phlebotomist. You should not be able to stick nobody's arm. So first of all, I don't want to get crazy and make it say is anybody administering? We're not gonna get that care. I don't believe that's that careless, that sloppy. Now that was a mistake that happened, but anybody just administering, and that's no. And that's going to be addressed too. That's what Biden addressed too.
It said a handful of people.
Military.
in Virginia went to a Kroger pharmacy to get a COVID-19 vaccine, but they got shots containing a saline solution instead. So Kroger had to call those people back and, basically say, oops, my fault.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That can't happen again. That's just crazy.
Wow.
It's getting wild,
baby.
So
upset, man. Hey, make sure y'all doing as much as y'all can possibly do to eliminate, you being out in places that you don't need to be. Like we be saying every week, grow your own food. Be working on getting you a piece of property that you could just, eliminate.
Grow your own fruits and vegetables.
Yes, man. You won't have to go to the grocery store as much. At least for produce, you'll be doing it. You're doing your own thing at home. Get you some chickens or something. Everybody need to be on that tip right now. But we'll be right back.
You are listening to Talk 100 with TEL-SCRILLA, D-Murder, and JMurphy. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So we're gonna shift gears a little bit, D-Mar. You sent me a information about Brother Floyd and the Chauvin situation. And he said he was picking the jury. I didn't get a chance to follow up. So did you check it out? What you know about it?
Well, that's basically they were just trying to select certain people here, and I'm gonna go back and look at it even further. But I heard they're reversing some of those charges too. I mean, they're gonna put back the charges that they initially did manslaughter. So it's a couple things that's going on with this. But what I gather is they're trying to definitely walk real slow with these moves they make because they don't want another eruption of this thing. But we knew this day was coming where, okay, it's going to be time to go to court about this whole thing. We knew this day was coming. It was this whole, obviously the whole movement moved and went into a whole thing last year and then you start seeing just this whole Black Lives Matters, everything, everywhere and on corporate and all that stuff. So now here we are with court. So no, they're selectively put. That's basically they're doing, just updating it, just letting you know they're selectively picking the jurors.
Now they got him for third-degree murder?
Yes.
Wow, man. And then doesn't that mean that he didn't have an intention to affect death?
Yes, because he didn't. The intent that would state that when he had his knee on there, he didn't know he was applying as much pressure that it would end up where it would take off, where he couldn't breathe completely and he would lose his life. That's why that. So yes, that murder 3 that attaches to that intent versus him just putting a gun in his head and blowing his head off. Yes, that's what that intent says. Lost that charge.
What you think about that, Skrilla? Third-degree murder for this guy or those guys? I don't know. Well, I don't know about the other guys, but third-degree murder? Does that seem fair?
I don't know. I don't know the details of the case. I mean, obviously, we can't expect justice, so to speak, in the courts when it come to us. We can hope and pray for it, but I mean, that's their business, really. That's not our domain. We do sports and entertainment when it comes to this country.
So we're not supposed to know about all of that.
Yeah. We just supposed to take what they hand us and hope we get the right judge and the right jury, and well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just looking at some of these images though, man, it's just really crazy to me. I think it was pretty evident that this guy was, trying to make him as uncomfortable. Maybe I don't know if he was trying to kill him. I can't really say that, but he definitely knew he was applying that the guy was uncomfortable. I mean, he was saying he can't breathe. And this is what I want to say before though, man. Like when are we gonna talk about if you can't just hold your breath to death. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing. You can't just commit suicide, hold your breath, and then die. I just feel like that's impossible to do. So when these cops are doing certain things to people, they got to stop using you fighting for your life as a reason for them to use deadly force and all of that. Of course, he's gonna struggle, and like your man up in New York, like he had his hands up. The big was that Eric Gardner, I believe.
Yeah, Eric
Yeah, I
Gardner.
mean, like they trying to, and then they getting away with us struggling for life or just to breathe or whatever, as us, resisting arrest or non-compliant, and that's ridiculous to me.
Man, I hate to say it, but America is one of these countries, man, when it come to us, they'd rather kill you and pay your family 20, 30, 40 million dollars rather than admit they're wrong or to give you justice. And we have seen that time after time.
We've seen the evidence of that.
And that's a sad reality. And other ethnic groups can make a claim that they've been mistreated and get laws passed to protect them.
Like who? Like Asians?
Like the Asians just got their law passed?
Like Asians, certain classes of sexes, transgender,
right.
Those type of, groups. Everybody but us.
Yeah.
In particular.
And here's what I would say. You remember what you just mentioned, J. Ralph, about the brute force. Here's the thing about, like we said, when he's got murder 3 because the intent. Here's the problem. If need be, if somebody's resistant and you have to bring them down so that you can handcuff them, if that's part of the initial thing, why is that not just done all in one format? You get a person down, stop, and that's, if they're moving around so you can't handcuff them, obviously you got to stop them from moving around so you can get them handcuffed behind their back. After that, you should be pulling them up, and then whatever happened from that, and then we're putting them in the car so we can get them downtown, because all the legal stuff's supposed to happen. That's what's supposed to happen on the streets. What is all this? I'm going to stay here. That's no different than being in Chicago or in Detroit in the hood. And something goes wrong because it keeps going as far as a fight, and it just keeps escalating, keeps going on. Don't nobody want to give up. Nobody don't want. And hey, ultimately, unfortunately, somebody can end up like, that's not supposed to happen in this kind of interaction. You're a public service. So if you're enforcing the law, because you carry the law as an officer, your format's supposed to be, okay, I'm trying to detain the person. If it get a little wild, okay, I got to do what I have to do just to get control. And then my goal is to, from there, get them fully arrested, because you got the power to do that, unless proven otherwise, after the fact, of course, and then get them down to the station. See, just that whole thing is not being done, and it's no accountability for that, just for that part of it. And then it just broke down to, well, I didn't mean to do that, and I was threatened as an officer. That's not acceptable. And then it ain't acceptable, obviously, if you're doing something wrong and then you're trying to resist arrest. Obviously, that's against the law. You're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to fight against police officers. But just this whole thing of it's all the way left or all the way right, which is what's been happening, mainly on the side of an officer saying that, oh, I just couldn't get him under control and I was scared to death. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I guess they trying to, acknowledge that by, implementing the body cameras and whatnot. I feel like if the body cameras don't work, case closed, we throwing it out, no matter what. Like, there should never be a moment where y'all cameras are not on and functioning. Like, you can't be saying that, well, we don't have enough money, so we don't have body cameras. Nah, that's unacceptable. Just like they forking up all of this money for the stimulus and everything else, they should be able to fork it up to get, to hold these people accountable. Like, we can't allow these systems to police themselves. That's the bottom line.
The only thing I can think of is that is an acceptable thing, because, I mean, when it comes to us, I feel like not only a certain segment of this country, as far as whites is concerned, they want to see us under control. Like, if we are always deemed as the bad guy, it's kind of like, okay, we protecting y'all. You see this? You see how I manhandled this black, this black boy, you know what I'm saying? And then I feel like every other ethnic group looks at it like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because it don't happen to other people. I've never seen a rabbi or a Jewish person or just any other ethnic group manhandled and murdered, in some cases assassinated on camera, not even on a body cam. I'm talking about regular people taping it with their cell phones, where we can clearly see that it was murder, abuse, violence on a person that was handcuffed on the ground. And they'd rather take that to court and say, oh, first they'll say, oh, well, we need to investigate this more. Okay, now we didn't heard the whole conversation on camera. We didn't seen the footage. Then it goes to court. Then they acquit the cops. And then 6 months later, you hear about the family getting $20 million.
Yeah, right.
They rather pay that bill than to give the rest of the country any kind of inkling that we are due justice.
Well, I mean, doesn't that mean that isn't, well, I won't say it means justice, but wouldn't that just kind of put the blame on them? When you pay, then that's you accepting, responsibility. What you think about that?
But if nobody's held accountable for that action, you know what I'm saying? Now
well, they're gonna say, well,
just,
we trying them for third-degree murder. What else do you want? That's how they would think about it. And we gave you $20 million.
But they can try them, but that doesn't mean that they'll, you know what I'm saying? They 9 times out of 10 they'll be acquitted. They can try them. You can be charged with anything in America, but what sticks in court? Typically what happens in the court is they'll acquit the officers and they'll pay out to the family. Now, and two, it's like this. The insurance that the union pays, they cut that check. And if you were to charge the officers, the city would have to cut that check. I'm sure they have insurance as well. But I mean, if you think about that, they rather send that message that we're keeping them in line, because to the rest of the world, we're the boogeyman, the way that they paint us, or they try to depict us, in most cases, we sign up for it too, the way that we're presenting ourselves in the media and, the rappers and whatever the case may be. If you're the super big bad thug and the rest of the world see you getting manhandled, they feel like they tax dollars are being put to use when one of us. But if that was a Jewish kid just being done like that, man, it would not happen, bro. It would not happen.
Yeah. And you can see just from these pictures that if it was Floyd versus Chauvin in a boxing match, Chauvin would get his ass kicked. Like you can see, I mean, I think that's a big deal too with these cops. Some of them just they don't look like they can physically handle, some of these citizens that they pulling over. And I'm sure that has something to do with his mentality, because Floyd was a pretty big guy, and he, it's like a personal thing. It's like a ego thing.
Yeah, they want to put the big bad boogeyman down before the world, and in some cases, and that really creates terror. When it really boils down to it, because how many people out there, like I was showing a house to a young lady, and I mentioned a certain area. I said, well, I seen a house over there for sale. Would you like to see that house? And she said, well, I got boys, baby, and you know what I'm saying? I just don't feel good about them coming to see me and something happened to them.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy stuff, man, but we're going to stay on top of this. I'm going to try my best to just get a little more informed about it, follow it a little bit more. I've been kind of busy, but yeah, man, we definitely got to keep putting the word out there, just keep talking about it. That's all we can really do. put money where you could put money to. Just help out these systems, just to get more protection, man. More people put more eyeballs on it, you know. But we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, this is your boy TEL-SCRILLA, and you are listening to Talk 100. Catch us every Friday night at 9 p.m. on Twitch. Just search NCG Media, and on YouTube, Talk 100, and Facebook, Talk 100.
So real quick, man, I know y'all been checking out this stimulus situation. Seemed like I guess Biden signed the bill. Apparently, you'll be getting some stimulus dollars coming pretty soon. What y'all know about it?
Well, that's the they said help is on the way. So this plan is over 1.9 trillion. And really what they're looking to do, what they're looking to do is truly change the economy from the lower end of poverty side of things. That's what they're going after, meaning we're going to basically put a bunch of, a good startup amount of chunk of money in your hands. And of course, it's going to go right back out of their hands. That they already know. That's the whole point. And then that should spark up everything else where it can feed into businesses, because the businesses will have to get back going and everything, and then jobs, and people have to want to go to work and go to work. So, and especially in the impoverished areas, at risk areas, that we definitely need to see more work there and see a boost there starting from there. So that's what the overall intentions is, obviously. Now, like I said, the responsibility of doing the right thing on parenting and them getting handed there, because what an average of 3 households get about $1,800. That's what could happen. Now individuals, under that 75, they'll get $1,400 and, be able to take care of some things. But as far as the main core is the people with kids and families, that's where a lot of that chunk of that, of a large amount is going to go to. So you have that in there. And then the other thing is to attack this whole COVID thing. So a good portion of money is going to those 3 companies, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Merda, and then that other company. So that's part of the bill too, and other things too in there. So, but that's what the goal is to see. We'll see the impact of it.
Hey,
see
my
how
thing
that
is,
turns out.
Your rent is already late. You're already not paying your bills and this and that. People better put that money into something that's going to help you make some more money.
There you go.
And at least for a few months, there's plenty of things you could do that where you can invest it that could, put some money in your pocket. Everybody's on the internet. So it's just, I don't know, man. Like this is a once in a lifetime thing, So if you
make something of it. That's my thing to the citizens. Make something of it then, since something like this has been passed, then make something of it.
I would like to see nobody spend a dime. Let it crash anyway. Save it all for a few months. You know what I mean? Show some kind of unity or something, man. But But I did see, like, I heard a report that a family of 4 will get $8,200. That's crazy as I don't know what. Like, when are you gonna get a $10,000 check at once? Most folks, you never have $10,000 in your hand at once.
Yeah.
And everybody already traveling, with all of this what's going on, the places that we was talking about earlier, the Texas and Georgia and Florida. And people booking flights, it's crazy. I've been seeing a lot of people just traveling though. Who you could tell you ain't really got no business traveling or spending money for that.
And they're targeting those areas.
Huh?
They're targeting the areas that's opened up. So Florida, Texas, Atlanta,
Right. Nobody's talking California because don't they still have the Kirk?
California's kind of locked up. They're
Oh yeah,
kind
they
of
got a
locking everything down to control the numbers. And I don't blame them. That's a good thing.
yeah.
So yeah, California's been under the radar.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we're gonna go ahead and shift gears. So what? Oh yeah, I did want to ask about this Kumo. Montel, you been seeing about that? What you think about that?
Yeah.
Is that a? Do you think that's like a result of like some political conspiracy? Obviously, these women, they already knew this.
It could be a diversion for what he did to those old people in those nursing homes, because I haven't heard anything about that.
Or punishment.
Remember, he was catching heat over that, and then the women came around.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, let him burn for what he did. If he did it, you know what I'm saying? It could be a political conspiracy, because I think a lot of people were trying to use this COVID-19 to like, maybe get on a national playing field in politics, and it could be that those things were known, but then, when you want to play with them big boys, they put that news on you like, nah, you ain't finna, because he was sounding like he was finna be the next president or something,
Right.
the way he was just stomped hard down on the COVID and the lockdown and yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden, hey,
Didn't
he
him and
touched
Trump
me.
have like a little rift or something?
It could have, because remember, he was going at Trump. So,
Right.
Trump, he go at whoever.
Right.
So
So
you
now
go at him, he going back at you.
Now we want to see these
how
women.
he was.
Though. Now that make me think, okay, well, are these women like a part of this, like, the insurrectionists and all of that type of stuff? Like,
You never know, bro. Because, I mean, it's really just an accusation, I mean, just imagine if you were to run for president and, whatever, some girl you dated in college that's on the other side of the political side of the aisle than you, and she said, well, he touched my butt at a party or something. You really can't prove it, but then you can't disregard. Weren't you there? Oh yeah, I was there.
But that don't matter. I mean, you see, Trump got in there with grabbing them by the PUSSY. So
yeah, and that's a little thing. Yeah, and you know what though? At the end of the day, I mean, that is one of those things, man, where I feel like, he was the Teflon Don in a sense. Like, he could say what he wanted to say and do what he wanted to do. And because he put his own money in the ring, which was kind of brilliant, because he didn't owe nobody any favors per se. You can hate him for his politics, but when you break down his run and when you break down just how he did things, I don't think we'll ever see anybody, elected president that didn't get a big chunk of change from a super PAC, or, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just from the normal, so to speak, protocol where you typically get your money from,
right?
Where you take this money from this group, now you owe them a favor.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? How those politics normally work, and
especially today.
Yeah,
because they said he wasn't the richest president ever. So if that's the case, then yeah, today, we know that's how it goes.
And then what people don't realize is that the U.S. government paid those. He took that campaign money and he took it out in a loan, and allegedly or reportedly that we paid that back because you can't have a president in debt in the Oval Office. That is something. So,
most definitely. So
think about.
Yeah, man. Just to switch in gears. So we so I forgot to ask you the other day. Have you seen anything else about this rover situation? I haven't really seen no updated pictures or them digging through the soil and all of that over there. Have you heard any updates about that? Or we can move on.
We could probably move on because
I saw one picture. I did see one picture. from like a fish eye lens of sorts on this. They just kind of showed the oval of the landscape there the other day, but I didn't really have a report on it. But I'm still interested to see like what's going on over there. Oh yeah, and they said they looking for a spot to send the helicopter up. So the rover has a little helicopter on it, and they just looking for a spot to go ahead and launch it to test whatever in the atmosphere. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. But I'm gonna stay following it. So, did you get a chance to check out the Bill Gates, man? What's up with his little conspiracy that's going on with the farmland? They say he bought up a bunch of farm, like he's like the richest farmland owner in the United States. All of a sudden, or not all of a sudden, he's been buying up land and farmland for a minute. He got like a town or something in Arizona, right, where that's like one of the fastest growing towns, and people thought that he'd be using it for some new futuristic, town, but it's just a basic old town that's on, funded by him or started by him. But it's pretty,
Seems
but
like
it's crazy because this farmland that he supposedly got is like it's like 300. I forget the number. Like the
it's millions of acres.
but it's
Millions
not
of
his
acres.
company though. That's the thing. He's like using like how the big wigs do in business. He goes through like a management company, so basically it's a company that manages his finances, and they buy everything up in his name, and he get the money and just pass it out, basically. But this company that bought it, I forget the name of it, but it's a LLC, and they are apparently buying a bunch of different properties throughout the United. I think it's like the
US.
Angelina Agricultural Company or something like that. But
Yeah,
once they did the research, it kind of went all the way back to like this little shed in the middle of nowhere, which is what the story was saying.
he controls. So it seems like he's trying to control the farmland and vaccines, or he's
Like right. For
interesting.
what reason? Like what's the reason? You know?
Probably for control.
But of what though? If you're not actually putting farm, like we know that farm, like since they began tracking farmland, like the numbers, the stocks, and all that type of stuff is always went up. Period. It's never went back. Like that's one of the best investments that you can invest in. Like buy some land, let real farmers come on it, and then you get like triple paid or something for different
Yeah,
reasons.
but even more so than that, he who controls the land controls the rights. So I can give you, just like they did a few years ago when they basically made it illegal for those farmers to use a natural seed that germinates.
Yeah.
So you had to buy seeds from a company, and so if that is the case, if you want to farm on that land, you know, put this pesticide in there or whatever the case may be, but you can, essentially you can control the rights to that land. So whatever they decide to do with it, they would have to basically get permission. Or the U.S. government might turn around and lease it to the U.S. government,
Yeah,
which is a good customer to have too.
right. We just got to sit back and watch it play out, I guess. I mean, they're not going to just tell you everything that's going on, but who knows with this guy, man? I just don't really trust Bill Gates. I don't even
I
know
don't
why.
like him and I don't trust
I
him.
don't even
That's
know
what I
why
can
though.
tell you.
He just seems
Bill
like
Gates is wrapping himself around all the key things. First it was technology. Now, hey, he's going for farmland. Remember, what is it? Skrilla, this farming and trucking. We know that as much as this economy is going on, those two things have to keep going. So Bill Gates, he would have put himself in the center of that.
and advertising.
And
That's another thing.
advertising.
And also construction. As long as the world exists, they're gonna be tearing stuff down and rebuilding.
And rebuilding. It'll be interesting to see. That's what we should keep our eyes on. I think that that could be a diabolical plan if it's true about some of the things that they say about Gates.
And he liked
You
these
know,
vaccines too.
that's what I'm saying. If you controlling, the natural resources, and then you want to pump everybody with vaccines around the world. We're not talking about just the United States. He's in
Yeah,
Africa.
he's obsessed with it. He
you
wants
know,
everybody to have them. He's obsessed with these vaccines.
Yeah, man.
and he basically got his way in a sense, because the first thing Biden pushed through, like we said, by the July, I think it was, all adults in the United States will have vaccines. And then even Biden had said he'll administer, I think it was 4,000 troops to help administer those vaccines. So
yeah,
at
right.
the end of the day, that's a scary thought.
That is. I mean, it seemed like it's just set. It's like a chess game. They setting up the pieces to do what they really want to do. Like, if the conspiracy people talking about the martial law and all this and that. Like, I don't know. But I'm one of the people that believe that, hey, somebody's got to take control at some point. And I know, Montel, you feel like, nah, you don't. And I do too, man. Like, I'm not a big government guy. I don't like people all up in my business, all in my personal, finances and all that. But at the same time, we got experts in society for a reason. Especially in like the judicial system, only an expert can come in and help, the lawyers submit these findings to the judge and stuff like that. They're not just gonna listen to somebody, some hack job in the garage mechanic. You need
That's
to be
true,
ASC
but if they
certified.
bought and paid for, then essentially they wouldn't work for us. They would work for, the person that's cutting their check. That's where it becomes a little diabolical, in my opinion, because how can you, say you're evil? We call them evil. We say we're choosing the lesser of two evils, but then we give them control, and then we don't like it in the long run, and then, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, if these were good, honest men and women that was running this country, I could see that. Hats off to that. But they haven't demonstrated that to us. They've demonstrated other things to us.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. All right, man, we're going to shift gears, though, when we come back from break, chop it up a little bit about what I meant when I was talking about this Atlanta situation, all of the content and footage that I've been seeing about Atlanta with this All-Star game. That also, I got a couple questions. We're going to talk about the N-word coming up real quick and a couple different things in our social segment. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute.
This is D Merle, and you're listening to Talk 100 with me and the fellas, Jay Raphael, T-SCRILLA, and D Merle. Every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We chop it up, cook it up, and keep it a buck on everything we discuss. Oh yeah. So tune in every Friday and subscribe.
So, man, so Atlanta. I don't know if y'all been seeing it, but as I've been going through social media this week, I've been seeing a lot of little clips about people hanging out for the All-Star game, and it kind of going to the relationship thing really, because a couple of the videos, a few times I've seen like it was guys filming their girls leaving or coming back from All-Star weekend. And they was all mad and, arguing and all this kind of stuff. Did y'all see that, or was it just me?
No, what did you see? I
Well,
didn't
it was-
keep up with the Atlanta thing.
Well, it was just I don't know. It's kind of like leading to the relationship thing. So guys was upset. One of the guys, he was filming this girl. He was saying, "Oh, you supposed to be going. You said you was doing this or doing something else, but you ended up going to Atlanta And so they was going back and forth. She had her bags packed. She was leaving out. You know, Atlanta was on fire this week, man. Just a lot of content. I seen another guy who he ended up getting his brand new Suburban. He got the rims taken off and tires.
Stolen in Atlanta,
stolen, yeah, right down there. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on down in Atlanta. It seemed like everybody is there, huh?
No. Yo, go ahead.
Well, it's a lot of people there right now. It's like you were saying, it's one of the places that's still popping, people flying in and out. It's warm, you know, and the celebrities are there, and people wanted to go and do their thing. So it's overpopulated. I even seen a girl getting robbed at the gas station for her car, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man, just slung this chick to the ground for nothing. I don't know. It's crazy. It was all lit up. Like people just taking more chances. I guess this is leading to a question I was gonna say is that, like, are we seeing more like crime? Do people care about it? That's what it seemed like. We just seeing people not really caring about getting caught up with these crimes, man. What y'all think about that?
I think in these areas, these particular areas, it's just going a little bit more and more crazy, and I don't know. It feeds different stereotypes, obviously, because look what we're talking about. Because we're talking about part of Atlanta is all black, and going back to that sister, you know, I don't understand how you think you weren't gonna get into an argument lying about where you going out of town. We're not talking about, oh, I decided to eat McDonald's versus Wendy's, which I don't care anyway. So what? You decided to eat, you said you was going to Wendy's and you went to McDonald's and then you headed to work. No, you went to said you was going to work and went to a whole another vacation spot in a state that you.
But why would dude even publish this though, man? Why would you even? I wouldn't even publish nothing like that.
That's just crazy to me in itself.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even put that out there on myself like that. And it was I think that like 3
another
times.
girl, bro.
Yeah, he is right, but she making herself look crazy. That's
real
stupid. But he
sucker to
needs
me.
to definitely get him another girl. She can't be trusted.
Well, he looked like a sucker if
Yeah,
he
exactly.
did that, bro. Like, just get you another. If your girl went to All-Star Weekend, bro, just get you another one. Even if you don't got evidence, just get another girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't got the evidence, huh?
And she's like, oh, we finna go to, oh yeah, that's where y'all go. Okay, just get you another girl, man.
Right, yeah. Now, as far as this crime, though, well,
so look, do crime look different? That's my question. Does crime look different today? You know, I'm always on technology and all of that. So, do you think today crime looks different? Like the stuff that people are willing to get caught doing, has that changed? Do that look different today to you?
I think it's just shown different, but it's the same thing they're getting caught for, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The cameras, it's more cameras and everything, but it just seemed like people are doing a lot more crazy stuff, man, like in broad daylight, or just like they just don't care about the consequences more so now than ever before. Even just on the news, what's reported to us. It's just like I feel like I just see crime different than how I saw it, like, you know, coming up or just over the years.
Yeah, they just a lot dumber.
Right, and I feel like it's the information that's traveling so fast, and with all of this, you know, people living, you know, from one extreme to the next, they really don't care about the things that they do. Even with like the racist stuff that's going on, a lot of people just don't even care. They showing their racism and they just putting it out there. Like people just, I don't know, man. It just look different than it did before, to me.
Yeah, we're getting older, and you're right though. I mean, these kids are basically growing up bad parenting than it used to be. You know, the streets would kind of give you some kind of tutelage, you know what I'm saying? But it's the wild, wild west out there, you know, and now it's just it's coming to a halt to where anything goes. You know, they'll rob an old lady. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no rules. It's just, you know, hey, I want that, you know, I want that, and I want it fast, and I don't want to work for it, and you got it, and I'm gonna take it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I blame the information. I blame the way it travels so fast, how it gets so popular. You know, like 6ix9ine, like your boy 6ix9ine, like just his attitude and the way he act. He's kind of like different than anybody else. He like done took what the 50 is the godfather of the trolling thing. He just done took it to another level. You know, he out here just like suicidal in his actions, and then you start seeing it with all these kids who younger than him. They trying to take what he doing to another level. So it's craziness, man.
Oh, it's costing a lot of them their lives, though. That's really what they don't point out in the with all these kids dying, just really over silly stuff, man. Trying to be internet famous.
Exactly, that money. So that's the money that you can make. For example, with like all of the new monetizations and all that type of thing with the different websites. Like you can make $1 million from the basement. You know what I mean? And that changes everything. All it takes is one person to get it too, to just change how everybody else think.
Yeah, yeah. Until it get real, because you run up on the wrong people, and that's the reality of the whole ordeal. And I hate to say it, but that's why some of us watch that 6ix9ine situation so close, because you see that's a train wreck, and you kind of really want him to get his lesson, because he is leading a large amount of kids down the wrong path, because he's trolling, he's, dissing the dead, pouring out liquor and just really and disregards to the parents and the family and friends that would be offended by it, but just to get that whole selfish thing. Oh yeah, just as long as my records sell, as long as I get hits and views, it's okay. And that's really a sad way. If it used to be some honor in how you got money and different things like that. But now and that's part of the whole ordeal of us celebrating people because they got money. But we never take in consideration, like, well, how did they get that money? And the old saying used to be, all money ain't good money.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be some money you just, nah, that ain't for me, bro. You just keep it moving because you had integrity and different things. Now it's just like, man, I'm gonna just, anything to get that Gucci belt, just so I can post these pictures on Instagram or wherever the case may be, and they not taking in consideration, because it's fun until it get real, but when you paying security
It's
and
gonna be
just,
real in prison. Yeah, like you said, it should be real enough when he went to the federal penitentiary. Then all of his then all his ex boys and stuff, they in there, and that's for real too. Like you said, doing some real time.
doing
Straight up.
real time.
Say it's gonna be
Because they
real in prison.
co-signed it. They empowered him. You know what I'm saying? To act like he was big and
They
bad.
empowered that madness.
And then, he sent them to prison, where they sent themselves to prison. Because, I mean, you can't do that clown stuff, man, and not expect repercussions. So they take him out of federal prison after a year or so, and now you gonna do all your time. And now he's free to roam and diss the dead and do what he's doing. And it's just kind of like one of them things, man, where the internet is the streets now, so to speak.
Straight up. So listen, with that, is it ever okay for white people to use the N word? And I'm gonna also say, let's just say you had a homeboy. He was white. He grew up in the neighborhood with all the black kids. Can he use the N word? Just to give a situation. So what you think about that?
I mean, me and my friends don't call each other niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like we say king, or we say bro, or we say different things. When white people say they want to use that word, bro, that's just, I mean, I say let them use it. And because this is a free society. If something happened to you, it is what it is. I mean, because there's some people that's never going to let that fly, whether they have that right to or not. and it's consequences to that. If you call your wife a certain pet name and I hear that, I'm not gonna call her that. That's a, you know what I'm saying? That's between y'all. I'm not gonna be, hey, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, like leave some things, to other people. That's, to me, that's just how I feel about that. But you can't police people's mouths, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, when you can say it and when you can get away with it, I mean, I don't feel like a white person would feel comfortable to say that around me. But at the end of the day, it's a free country. You can try it, see what happened.
Mm-hmm. It's just been a lot of that going on, man, and you see people reacting to it. I mean, it's just the cameras, man. It's just more
I
cameras
just think
on it.
that word need. I think that word need to be left alone. There need to be just leave well enough alone. Leave that word alone. That
I
N
mean,
word is just, it just brings too much. Uh, I don't know. It's just a dangerous, just crazy, unnecessary at this point.
But it's not gonna happen though. It's in
Well,
all of the music. These white kids or everybody is growing up listening to the same stuff. That's the most popular music. It's not gonna go. It's not gonna go away.
it's not. And I watch these videos with these songs and they do the little TikTok dances to it. And I watch. I ain't gonna lie. I watch to see if the white people say it, and a lot of them will just not say it.
Right.
At least not on camera. But I think they say it in their house. I think they say it, in certain ones. I think they say it, and I think enough of them got enough sense to say, hey, that's something that we're not gonna do. You know, but
But okay. Well,
anytime
what if
somebody
they?
press that line, I just think they just want free access to just be their racist self.
But what about the Latinos?
Some
They're
of them say it.
yeah, they're able
Some
to
of them
say it.
say it.
Is that okay socially? It is socially because we don't have a problem with them doing it publicly, and why is that the case?
I think certain ones, like for instance, if a Latino in LA said that, I would feel like they were being derogatory, right? Because it's a clear line. Different parts of the country is like clear lines. We don't mess with them. It's not this big black and brown coalition all over the country. In LA and in California, it's kind of like segmented. You got Mexican gangs that don't like black gangs and different things like that. So if one of them was to say it, they probably say it in Spanish or something, but it's the same as the white boy saying it in that case. And then there are some that did grow up around us that we kind of feel like, they are our kindred in some instance. And I'm sure there's some of us that would let that slide, but I don't know. I think it's how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself with respect, people will see that and will kind of check their mouth. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, my homeboys don't be like, hey, what up, my nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't in our vocabulary in a sense. So I guess that's if
After a certain age, you know what I mean?
After a certain age, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like, that ain't what we even call each other a lot of times. Maybe with the younger kids, they may see it. But I was in like Minnesota somewhere, and I heard a bunch of Asian kids calling themselves niggas. So it is a bit convoluted in some instances. So, it's a tricky little thing, but when it's being derogatory, you know what I'm saying? If it slipped out of Billy Bob's mouth with his Confederate flag, you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we know when it's a term of endearment and when it's really derogatory.
Yep. It's crazy though how much people allow it to get them in trouble though.
I feel you, my nigger. Nigga.
Yeah, right.
Like,
it's crazy.
I
forgot why I saw it. Who was arguing with that? I think it was Benzino or somebody a couple weeks ago. I forgot who it was, but it was a white guy saying it, and and he was going back and forth with the host, and it was just it was an interesting back and forth because the white guy was just like he said, and he kept using it, kept being disrespectful, and just to see that play out like that, like I don't see why people let it affect them so much though. I really don't care what.
Well,
I live
that's
on.
that's the whole. That's why it needs to be gone. Because first of all, breaking it down and trying to say versus N, the A and defining all of this like it's some upstanding word. Again, it's kind of like the whole thing of, I guess I go to food, but it's not a good thing. Hey, chill. Oh, we always had to have chitlins. Well, maybe we need to do better because again, what is it doing to us? But see, this is even worse because this is more hurt. That could be hurtful. Health could be hurtful too, your dietary. But this is even more hurtful and it has a bad legacy with it, internally or not. So some stuff you can't turn from boo-boo to sugar. That's the first mistake. See, here we are, and I'm saying we as in black people. Well, we have the right to sit up and just turn what was trash that was on us that should have never been to thing. Everything we don't need to be doing that with. And even if we did do it, let it go. Some stuff need to be let go and then leave it alone from there. So first of all, eternally, we need to be leaving that alone. Ain't no more justification of we put the ER, we made it sweet, we made it this, that, and the other. No, we need to leave it alone, period. It comes from a bad place. And that's just the bottom line, my opinion. A lot of people's opinions too, by the way, but that's with it. There's got a good deal of black people that had that opinion. But yeah, that's my thought on that.
Yeah, but everything
leave
is
it alone.
captured though. Everything from the past is captured, as far as like music, for example, and that stuff will never die, man. So people will always be emotionally stimulated by the music from the past and the present, you know what I mean? And so just that mentality, that life, that what you call it? The just that that's just the mentality, man, of people who are like that. It's just gonna always be popular. It make a lot of money, so that's why we shouldn't let it affect us so much.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you feel disrespected, then I guess that's just a case by case situation, But I think, enough of us carry ourselves intelligently and respectful. And if you come spewing certain words and different things, it's your right to check it, regardless if it's the N word or any other word that you feel disrespect you and your character or what you stand for. But I mean, I kind of like it to exist in a sense too. You know what I'm saying? Because we like to try to make it seem like we're so far removed from that word in a sense of like, how they want to use it, because it was a large portion of Black society when Obama was in office that was saying, Al Sharpton went on record, I just feel like we so far away from, the racist past of America. And then boom, couple years later, and it's the worst it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? So I always think until there's real change, I think that word needs to kind of be there just to keep us in perspective of the reality of our situation here in this nation.
Right. It's like wearing the racist stamp or tattoo on your forehead. If you think like that, you talk like that, then I know to stay away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know who the racist people are. And if you got things to do tomorrow, then hey, you'd be a fool to take on a situation like that just out the blue.
It's I don't think it's gonna die out, bro. I mean, we gonna live and die, and that word will precede us and be relevant as long as we are a second class citizen in this nation, bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's a reality. Yeah, because you that white person at work you think is cool or whatever. Get into an argument with them, and you know what I'm saying. Let's let some words fly, and I guarantee you, some way they go to show that you such and such. You understand? So at the end of the day, I mean, this is where we are in America.
Yes, sir. Now we can't. I can't get. I know we're a little over, but I can't go this week without bringing up the topic, like another mentality that's pretty popular today, and it's that the future is female. And I just want to get y'all perspective on what that means to you. Do you notice it? Is it popular to you, or just how it make you feel, or what you think about it? But we'll be back in a minute.
You are listening to Talk 100 with TEL-SCRILLA, D-Merle, and J Raphael. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So the future is female. It's a couple years ago. I watched a like a commercial on I think it was Vice, the Vice channel, and there was a woman just sitting on a bar stool, and she was saying this long soliloquy about how strong the woman is, and all of this. And at the end of the commercial, she said like the future is female. And when I heard it, I just thought about it, like, well, what does that mean? Like, at that time but now I'm seeing it a lot more. This was probably 2 years ago. Now I'm seeing it a lot more. And I just want to know, have y'all seen that? Does that mean anything to you? Does it affect society in a different way other than before? What? Or is it nothing?
Oh, it's a big thing. It's a very big thing. The Washington Post in February 8, 2017 basically deemed it as a lesbian term. Hillary Clinton kind of coined that phrase even back then. So it's been a movement ever since the civil rights and different things like that. So I think that is here to stay. That movement is very powerful.
Mm-hmm. What you think, D Morrow there?
Well, yeah, I'm here, bro. Well, what I would say is, I don't understand where the movement became, because really women's rights have been implemented for a while, for some years. And I would say, and which of course is necessary. Everything needs to be even as far as that. So opportunities and all that stuff, especially in the workforce and business and all of those different things, that needs to be definitely integrated. Now, but as far as going out of the way, see, this is where it becomes a thing, where touch and go, where it goes out of the way of, we're gonna push this narrative because they need to be in the forefront, matter of fact, and then now this needs to take a back seat. That's where a problem becomes, because again, I put it to you this way, like I had a relative that got out of prison, and I'm back in Detroit. First thing, you want to do, you want to go to Coney Island, want to go to here, want to go all within an hour. You want to go to 10 different restaurants. You ain't gonna make up for 7 years of just of eating the state food. You know what I'm saying, my Skrilla? You're not gonna make up. All you're gonna do is put some. You're gonna get a bunch of weight on you. Then you ain't gonna like when I say how you gained 20 pounds in 15 days. Like, you just can't do it, and that's what I feel that has happened, which is crazy. Should equal rights have on everything from whether it's black people, women, just whatever? No, none of it shouldn't have been the case. But now trying to, in society, force. Well, we were mistreated, so this is going to be a forcing of, now you're going to overly deal with us, and you're going to take this. As a matter of fact, we're going to pull a little bit away from you too, by the way, for a little while, or for whatever, or period. That's what I think we're seeing. That's why it's so weird. It's not that needs to be, but again, it's a thing of, to me, you go too far. It goes too far versus just making sure the right things is implemented, and it's some balance. They want to go all the way with shoving stuff now down everybody's throats with
I
this whole
think
rights.
I think that women should have a gripe, you know, like they should be upset and they should be trying to,
For
make
the next 20
changes.
years,
Well, no, I'm not. Well, just let me finish. Of just about about them being oppressed and coming from where they come from, and just the landscape of, like you were talking about, employment and equal pay and all that stuff. I don't know, but I just feel like it's like, as far as the black fight, like when the black people show up marching and everything, like we're not asking to be ahead of other races or whatever. We just want equal opportunity, equal chances to do, a level playing field, But this seems like, to me, like it's asking for more. It's asking for you to, like you were saying, you know. I don't know, man. They just seem like they're going above and beyond and want to just seem like change everything in their benefit and slow everything else down.
slow everything else down.
It
They
don't seem
lead
like an
or what?
integrated thing. It's like we don't
Because
need men for nothing, and we're
well,
gonna run the
yeah,
world.
that's where the phrase really came from. That's what I was saying about it goes beyond just the average woman getting her just due and different things like that, and them feeling oppressed. Mind you, not by black men. I think we never really point the finger at the culprit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about them gaining their rights to vote and different things like that, that was not a black man or any other man. That was their own white males that didn't allow them to vote. And at the end of the day, I just feel like, you have these movements, but somehow, like they attack, black men and hip hop and different things like that. But none of us has been in the position to even give salaries to even our own people. So I feel like, like if you're going to direct that to who really was oppressing you, and not to all men, because all men aren't in power to give those women salaries. No, definitely not no black man, or what I'm saying. It wasn't that. We weren't the ones telling them they couldn't vote. So their fight against all men is kind of erroneous, in my opinion, because it was white men who are the power structure of this country and around the world, really, when you really break it down. And that never gets mentioned. When they go on these rants and just different things like that, they never really point the finger to the real enemy. And that's so we get indoctrinated. We have to be indoctrinated with all of this propaganda by these different groups who disguise themselves with us on the front line. And I would like to see how that plays out, to see if, and even in the gay community and all of those things, I really feel like a lot of these movements use us as a stepping stone, i.e. the civil rights movement, so to speak, and they take our blood and sweat and tears, right? And in a lot of cases, assassinations and murders and ill treatment. And somehow they jump on our backs and they get in key positions, because when you start chasing the money and the organizations and different things like that, you ain't gonna see no black woman in the meetings, in the boardrooms of these so-called just, I'm saying, gender wars and different things like that.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if I agree with that one. I think you would.
I mean, it always play out like that. If it's a gay movement, it's gonna be for white. I'm telling you now, the new transgender movement, they will position themselves to be a minority, and it will be a mainly white transgender movement.
Yeah, I bet you Mr. C could tell you a whole lot about that.
now he's coming out. He's saying what it really was. Now that he done got caught and all this. That's funny.
He confident. He like, yeah, that's what I like. He said he enjoys men dressed like women. That's what he like. He was talking to Mano. I saw they were sitting on the couch chopping it up. And he just kept stopping Mano, like, listen, don't make it too difficult. He was just spilling the beans, like, wow. Legendary DJ, Mr. C. Wow. When it dropped, it was I don't know. I mean, but you're just not surprised no more, man. Everything is it's just crazy, you know. Nothing surprises me anymore. Stacey Dash, did you see her?
Yeah, she back paddling, huh?
She in that canoe. Hey, but appreciate y'all for checking us out this week. Stop back by Talk 100. Check us out on the website, talk100.com. Also, let me give a big salute to our sponsors and biggest supporters, New Leaf Home Solutions in Waterford, Michigan, a premier real estate investment company which can help you make your dream home a reality. Check out my man Skrilla I'll put the links down in the description to his Instagram page. If you got any questions, want to know about anything with, buying your first property, he is that guy to talk to. Also, Herbal Rotation LLC, a company which helps to draw awareness to responsible and safe herbal healing, and also helping to diminish the harmful effects of opioid abuse in society. They got a newsletter that comes out every single Monday morning at 8 a.m. At herbalrotation.com/news. And D-Mar, you want to give them a link to the show?
Yeah, we're going to put a link down at the bottom of the show for the Real Sports Time channel right here on YouTube. And, of course, check us out on all the Instagram, Facebook, and all that good stuff. So that's our Real Sports Time on Twitter and on Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
our
right. We got to change that. I think I got your old one in there, so we got to make sure we update that.
Yeah.
So they can get with you. I know.
So yeah, it's all good,
sports, man. We didn't get to the sports side of things. I know it's a lot going on right now.
Well, we covered a lot. Always have a full slate with everything with the news. So, but we'll get to it. But yeah, just tune into the Real Sports Time channel. We'll have the link there. So we'll do some stuff there. So
no doubt. Appreciate y'all though. Have a good week, everybody. Have a great weekend, a safe weekend. We still in mask mode, so protect yourself.
Still in mask mode, Skrilla.
Yes, sir. Forever. This is just the way it is. You might not have to wear the mask always, but people.
We are the new China. We are the new China or Japan, whatever it is that they have. They already
always
Texas, here I come, baby.
Hey man, I also want to say, man, they need to knock it off with this blacks versus Asians or whatnot. Black people love Asian people. Man.
We've never had no problem with any Asian.
Never had a problem. I've been seeing all that little crap that's going on with
I'm not even. Yeah, we need
singling out these situations or whatnot. Man, knock it off. Peace.
Even when Ming Lee was selling us cat for chicken, we wasn't even mad at
it. That's a whole other story though. Check us out, y'all. Till next time. Peace.
Later.
Oh